Hello there, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 3 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting with the music mogul's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, taking the stand.
Why would we need a 50-foot bed?
I mean, T.D. Jakes ain't small. I'm just saying. If it's a group thing, it's a group thing. You gotta think about, you got Rick Ross, you got Khaled, we talk about heavy hitters.
Week 3 of the Diddy trial has taken a dramatic, emotional, and deeply disturbing turn. What began as a case centered around Cassie Ventura's allegations has exploded into something far bigger than anyone expected.
She testified she was held against her will twice. At one point alleging she was forced from her apartment and into a car to take Combs and one of his bodyguards to the home of rapper Kid Cudi to, quote, kill him. Cudi was dating his ex, Cassie Ventura, at the time. Clark also claimed Combs threatened to kill Ventura if she didn't convince Kid Cudi not to tell police that Combs was allegedly involved with a break-in at his house. Clark also telling the jury that a large man repeatedly administered lie detector tests to her on suspicion that she stole jewelry loaned to Combs. She testified that this man said if she flunked the test, they're going to throw you in the East River.
This isn't just about Diddy anymore. This is about power, secrecy, control, and now a web of tapes and testimonies that are pulling some of the most famous names in the world straight into the courtroom. And the moment that changed everything, audio, real, raw, graphic recordings played right in courts. Not rumors, not gossip, actual recordings. And when those tapes played, Diddy broke. Let's rewind. The day started like any other. Journalists arrived early. Security was tight. Phones were confiscated and the courtroom was packed. Nobody quite expected what was about to happen. The prosecution announced they had audio evidence to present, and not just any audio. They said the tapes featured Diddy in intimate and disturbing situations involving multiple people, including Meek Mill, Will Smith, and, shockingly, even T.D. Jakes. At first, the room didn't believe it.
What about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes?
I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. Drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he'd have to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he'd have to save some soul.
A few scoffs, some whispered jokes, but then the audio began. No jokes, no scoffs, just stunned silence. According to people in the courtroom, the tape was incredibly graphic. One witness called it soul-shattering. Another said you could hear Diddy laughing while someone else was clearly not okay. Diddy, seated at the defense table, reportedly turned red, then pale. His legs started shaking. His hand went to his face, and as the minutes went on, his whole body trembled. His legal team tried to keep him composed, but he couldn't hide it. He looked broken. His daughters were present in the room. When the recording ended, they got up and walked out, faces pale, eyes wide. They said nothing, and that wasn't the end. Right after the audio, the prosecution dropped a witness list that sent shockwaves through the courts. Names like Dawn Richards, a former member of Danity Kane, came up. She took the stand and described in heartbreaking detail the night she saw Diddy beat Cassie because dinner wasn't ready. She said he threw a skillet at Cassie's head, kicked her while she lay on the floor, and then dragged her upstairs while glass shattered everywhere. Dawn said she was terrified. She didn't intervene. She didn't call the police. But she never forgot. Then came the real bombshell. Capricorn Clark, Diddy's former assistant, took the stand. Her testimony was a nightmare. She talked about being forced to take lie detector tests for days because jewelry had gone missing. The man who administered the test told her if she failed, she'd be thrown into the East River. She described being shoved by Diddy, threatened, and, in one terrifying incident, forced into a car at gunpoint and taken to Kid Cudi's house. Diddy was furious Cassie was dating Cudi at the time, and he allegedly planned to confront or harm him. It was during this testimony that the judge allowed more audio to be played, and this time it involved more voices, including Meek Mill and, to everyone's disbelief, Will Smith. The courtroom froze again. While the exact content of the recordings hasn't been released publicly, multiple courtroom witnesses said it confirmed rumors that have floated around for years. And then there was the biggest surprise of all, T.D. Jakes. How did a beloved spiritual leader end up in the middle of this mess? The court didn't play audio featuring Jakes himself, but his name came up in a conversation on the tape. Someone mentioned him while describing a bizarre event involving multiple high-profile men, including rappers and entertainers. The implication? That he was at one of the infamous freak-off parties. Nobody has confirmed this, but his name being dropped in court was enough to send social media into a frenzy. After the tapes played, the courtroom went quiet. Then Diddy lost it. He slammed his fist on the table. His lawyers surrounded him, whispering, trying to keep him calm. But he wasn't listening. He stood up shaking, his voice raised. He was yelling something nobody could quite hear. The judge called for order. Court security approached, and in that moment, for the first time in his career, Diddy looked completely powerless. Outside the courthouse, the scene was chaos. News vans, protesters, fans, curious onlookers. Everyone was talking about the same thing, the tape. What did it show? Who was on it? Why hasn't it been leaked? Some say the tapes are being kept under wraps because they involve powerful people, that if the full recordings got out, it could lead to lawsuits, canceled deals, even more criminal investigations. And while Will Smith released a statement denying any wrongdoing, saying he wasn't anywhere near that man, the internet wasn't buying it. Dozens of old videos, party photos, and interviews surfaced, showing Will and Diddy together over the years. Fans felt betrayed. Many are now combing through old footage trying to spot clues. Suddenly, jokes made by comedians like Luenell about Diddy and Will don't seem so funny. They seem too close to the truth. Meek Mill, on the other hand, went into total damage control. His Twitter feed became a meltdown of frantic denials, angry posts, and cryptic messages. But the more he tweeted, the more people believed he had something to hide. And then there's the church. T.D. Jakes hasn't released a statement, but pressure is mounting. His followers are demanding answers. His reputation is on the line. What did he know? Was he really involved? Or is he just collateral damage in a case that's spinning out of control? Back in court, the prosecution is building a case that paints Diddy not just as a controlling partner or bad boss, but as someone who created an entire system of fear and silence. A system powered by blackmail, manipulation, and secrets. More witnesses are expected to testify next week, including a Homeland Security agent who raided Diddy's hotel room and allegedly found bags of baby oil and other explicit items. The agent said they were cataloged and photographed and entered into evidence. Diddy's legal team objected but couldn't stop it. Court insiders say the trial is only halfway done. More tapes exist, more names might come out, and Diddy's emotional breakdown in court, that might be just the beginning. His empire is crumbling, his allies are falling silent, and his past is no longer staying buried. This isn't just a trial, it's a reckoning. And as the world watches, one thing is clear, the truth is finally coming out. And it might be uglier than anyone imagined.